Once upon a time, there were two hillbilly kids called Tough. They lived in a dungeon in the valley where life was very rough. Jack and Jill longed to travel up the mountainside, and in freedom from tyranny there to reside. On the mountain they dreamed of playing in the lush green grass. But alas, there was a troll who would not let them pass. This one-eyed monster lived beneath the bridge he did patrol. Ferociously he guarded the entrance for the evil king control. Those dare cross the raging river were attacked by this assailer. Like any manipulator, he was a mean blackmailer. Feared by all, the troll of control blocked those in quest of liberty, life, and happiness, though this they were entitled to request. Nobody crossed the bridge without the troll's permission. Not one did the beast ever grant concession. For the king cared not for those he swore to serve. It was his power, privilege, and possessions he sought to preserve. The king sat in his parlor counting out his money, letting people starve. From aid to the impoverished, a fortune he would carve. These funds were reallocated for guns and bigger palaces, conferring all the while friends and family to higher offices. Dare anyone oppose his tyrannical dictatorship, to jail they would be sent for disagreeing even with one's penmanship. Natural resources did remain for the control of a privileged few. Monopolies and cartels would price the goods askew. Mr. and Mrs. Hillbilly Tough developed an intense aversion to paying high taxes into a system designed for their subversion. They wanted Jack and Jill to have a different life, to cross that bridge and move away from strife. Everyone in the dungeon should have sought to cross the bridge and stampede the entrance up to the mountainous ridge. But sadly they were busy quarreling against each other, blinded by dissimilarities, brother barbed against his brother. The captives argued over whose religious practices were better. They argued over which sport teams were faster. They argued over whose skin color was prettier. They argued over whose family heritage was nobler. Rightful place should have been returned to the rule of peace. But unquestioned and unchecked, king control was allowed to fleece. While foreigners were permitted unlawful entry without arrest, the residents were busy betting on the next reality contest. With indignation the people could have together band to restore liberty, integrity, and order to the land. But apathy and fear of retaliation prevailed instead. They merely shrugged their shoulders while robbed of their homestead. Families blithely watched television all night long, not learning what was really going on. They let sugar sellers and producers do their babysitting. Oblivious they remained to the mental programming. Colleagues competed to climb the corporate ladder, their skills to portray, while history's lessons were doomed to be repeated in elaborate replay. Their focus on procuring the next dollar right away ensured they regurgitated what happened yesterday. They wanted a cute little home where the buffalo roam, yet seldom was heard a discouraging word confronting the dark clouds of clandestine laws ordered. Platinum-selling melodies lull them to sleep each night, the indentured prisoners oblivious to their plight. The king thought they were a joke. The brainwashing was his masterstroke. Mr. and Mrs. Tough finally decided to get tough. They told their kids to pack their stuff. Soon Jack and Jill would from the dungeon be self-evicted. Be strong and do not be intimidated, their good parents had instructed. The king's force is few in number as compared to us, but with right upon our side, our odds are advantageous. Impeded has our path to freedom been for far too long. Let's get moving up that mountain, for that's where we belong. It is time to think proactively and protect your property. Anyone who tries to rob you of your right to liberty definitely does not deserve your ear. When threatened, you must remember, control feeds upon your fear. Do not allow them to herd you as some mindless cattle, for even though there may be a protracted upward battle, those monarch manipulators are legally lame, for the universe has ordered for you to be king of your domain. As sovereigns, you're entitled to your individuality. Don't be conned by the collective socialist mentality. Mass mandates are wrong when they limit personal freedoms. In the name of freeing all, communists only create serfdoms. Armed with their parents' admonition, Jack and Jill headed up the mountain to fetch and reinstate the Freedom Bill. As much as all this advice sounded very good, the hillbilly kids would have to put it to the test, they understood. Regardless of what they now knew, the troll had a very loud voice. That the kids dreamed of going to school to take tests with multiple choice. They knew that uneducated societies are more easily bound by king control. So in the morning they would venture to challenge the ugly one-eyed troll. The night before they left, wee hillbilly Jill ran through the town, upstairs and downstairs in her flannel nightgown, rapping at the windows, crying through the lock, "Are the children all in bed? Tomorrow is school, and it's now 8 o'clock." The next day Jack and Jill hoped many other kids would join them. But alas, these children feared the troll and his frightful anthem. They and their parents were too afraid to venture out, so they let the bigwigs run their lives and give them the runabout. The first to reach the bridge was the smallest hillbilly kid. Trippity-trop, went her little shoes, for she was trepid. "Who's that trotting over my bridge?" the troll growled. "Hillbilly Tough," squeaked the smallest kid barely aloud. "I'm only heading up to the mountain to go to school and play in the green spring grass and the cool of the pool." "Oh, no, you're not," said the troll. "I'm going to eat you for breakfast to please my king control." "Oh, no, you won't," insisted the kid who knew of her recourse. "I'm a free young girl with a right to walk this course." The troll had never had anyone stand up to him like this. His tactics couldn't work without fear, and now he was in crisis. The troll could only continue to huff and puff out angry words, in the hopes that he could blow down the bridge with his vocal cords. Hillbilly kids don't get educated and learn how to be freed. A woman's contribution to society is only to cook and breed. King Control hates people thinking and acting for themselves. He wants peasants and puppets who work for him like little elves. Your job is to stay home, like the old woman who lived in a shoe, who had so many children she didn't know what to do. "What a silly notion," laughed Jill Tough. "Be quiet, old fool. First I will get an education. I will go to school. If in my womanhood I decide on motherhood, I will do so, but not because someone else thinks I should." The troll did not want to waste his time on little Jill, if perchance there was a boy kid coming up the hill. He had an evil idea that in motive was very sinister. With egotistic superiority he would turn brother against his sister. If he could not control all members of the human race, then he would get one to control the other by pride of position and place. That way he could hold captive the hearts of the two of them both. Easier for him it would be if they didn't uphold their loyalty oath. "All right, you can cross my bridge," the troll grunted to Jill in glee. Leaving the deviate to his devices, Jill skipped up the mount in jubilee. "Who's afraid of the big bad troll? I'm not afraid of the troll of control. I'm off to extol to women the importance of the voting poll." The troll did not have to wait long for the second kid to come along. Clip, clop went Jack's shoes as he bid his friend so long. With thunderous roar appeared the troll from underneath the planks. "Who's that clattering across my bridge with intent to climb yonder banks?" "Hillbilly Kid Tough," said Jack in his medium-sized voice. "I'm going up the mountain where I shall have cause to rejoice." "Oh, no, you're not," said the troll hard and fast. "I'm going to devour you today for my breakfast." "Oh, no, you won't," declared the second hillbilly kid. "I'm afraid on your confidence you did overbid. My sister and I to school will go together, for we shall rid the world of ignorance altogether." "Why do that?" asked the troll. "Boys should be smarter than girls. Women kept dumb, leave their men alone to live the life of earls. Bring your sister to me, and I'll keep her from learning too much. It will be harder to control her with notions of freedom and such.